at the end, when the bell rings, whenever somebody's arm's up in the air, is it over? Is the animosity over? Or is this going to continue?
Yeah, who knows? You know, there's a camaraderie that comes with competition, but not always. Sometimes you follow protocol and procedure, which is you shake the other guy's hand and you leave it there until you get in the back, and then you want to do it all over again. I don't wish him well, and he doesn't wish me well. And if you hear Wanderlei's side, I'm the bad guy in the story, and if you hear my side, he's the bad guy. I'm sure there's enough blame to go around, but I don't really see what the difference is. Let's just fight.
And Wanderlei, same question for you. Will the impulse be there to shake Chael's hand at the end of the fight?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much.
You said leading up to the fight that if you're in the same room as Chael, you know, things might get a little dicey. Did anything happen in the back? How do you feel actually being in the same room as him for the first time in a while?
No, happened because I look at him so scared out there. No. I'm going to wait for the fight.
Chael, is that accurate?
Yeah, I've stayed away from him. I haven't seen Wanderlei until just now, and I don't even know if I made eye contact with him here. I have no idea. I mean, he came out in an interview and said he wanted to taste my blood, and it's like, come on, man. Dan Henderson knocked the taste out of your mouth 10 years ago. You can't taste a goddamn thing.
Do you want to deliver a fight for the ages, or just kind of deliver each other, kind of rendered unconscious on the canvas? Chael?
Yeah, I mean, I want to fight. You know, one thing about Wanderlei, he's a cage fighter. I'm a cage fighter. I had my first fight in 1997. I don't know where this term mixed martial arts and all this stuff came from. I'm not a martial artist. I don't wear bathrobes, and I damn sure don't bow to people. So when they lock that door, man, we're going to be two half-naked men with very limited rules, and we are going to fight.
Wanderlei?
Fight's fight. We're going to check there.
And how are you? It's 4 years, isn't it, since you fought last? What have you done constructively in the camp to get yourself ready again?
Yeah, after I signed with the Bellator, I feel my happiness back, and I feel happy again, and I clean my mind, I clean my body, and because sometimes we train so much we don't want to do anymore. But right now I'm ready to back, and I'm ready to back to the top.
How do you keep the emotion and the anger out of it and make sure to stick to your game plan so ultimately at the end of the night you can be the winner and prevail?
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. I don't have game plans, and I'm not playing a game or anything like that. It's a fight, and as far as emotion goes, you know, people say this shouldn't be personal, but it is personal. You know, I can't think of anything more personal than having to fight a guy. And generally in my career, it's not been about animosity. It's just been about competing with somebody the same size, and we've got the same goals. And we got to go out there and do what we can do. But as far as Wanderlei and I, man, we never got it right. We've never got it right from the beginning, and we've been trying to fight one another. And we both ended up in the principal's office after we had signed contracts. But here we are. So that's a real thing, and I'm not thinking anything about it. And if that slows me down or speeds me up, it doesn't make a difference to me.
What do you see that's a chink in each other's armor that you feel you could use to win this battle June 24th?
Wanderlei?
For me, the truth, I don't have the question before. I don't have the game plan. My game plan is just kick his ass and it's done.
Yeah, man, I'm with him on that. I didn't know if Wanderlei was going to show up. I really didn't. You know, in baseball rules, he had 2 strikes against him. He missed a press conference. He missed a second press conference. And the last trick was if he'd land in New York. And as soon as I got out of the cab at the hotel, I thought I saw him. I saw some guy in a crosswalk with a bald head that looked disheveled and lost. And I'm pretty sure that's Wanderlei. So I didn't know if they were going to use a revolving door. There was talk of Randy Couture coming in or a plan B. I didn't really know what I was preparing for. But as far as fighting Wanderlei Silva, I've had to fight him before in the streets with no notice. So it doesn't make a bit of difference to me.
What is different about this comeback from the one that you had at the start of the year? You know, everyone's going to be paying $50 for this pay-per-view on Saturday, and you know, everyone's seen the comeback already once. Why is this different this time around?
I'll tell you, I've never been so motivated. I haven't been a motivated athlete in 10 years, and I've been a very disciplined athlete. In the last 10 years, I fought for 5 world championships, sold out 6 different arenas, but I wasn't motivated. I had to operate on discipline. Showing up to practice, I was there on time every single day, but it was tough. It was tough to get in the car and get there, and motivation isn't something you can control. You've either got it or you don't. And, you know, losing to Tito was so embarrassing. Worst fighter in the history of the sport. I lose to him. You know, it's it's like if you beat a guy that's champion, you get to call yourself the champion. If you lose to a bum, you're a bum. And, that doesn't sit well. I made changes that night. On my way back to the dressing room, I said, man, I'm never going to feel this way again. And I sat down with my coaches, and we made changes, and I stacked the bricks and put checks in every single column. And if that converts to results, let's see what happens. But I am completely ready to fight.
Is there any part of you, because you've had, you guys have flirted with each other for so long at this point, that you'll only truly believe that you are fighting him if you're standing in front of him in the cage on Saturdays? Or do you feel like now it's actually a thing that's going to happen?
No, it's definitely going to happen. As soon as I saw him here, I knew it would happen. I accuse Wanderlei of a lot of things, but being a coward isn't one of them. He's not showing up in New York and finding an excuse between now and then. And I've had guys that have done that, but he's not one. And, speaking of your town, Ariel, Madison Square Garden, shaped like a circle. Great job, New York. And another thing, I was on the Manhattan Bridge this morning. What kind of brainstorm session went on with your legislators to come up with that name? I mean, how much thought was put into that? I'd be so curious as to what name came in second, like Ralph or Fred or something. What else would you call it? Maybe you guys will make Broadway narrow next. Oh, wait, you already did. Do you have any comment on that? Madison Square Garden.
Do you feel like you're more in a groove now that this is your second fight camp since you've come back?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I was ready for that night, but it was a real thing. It was a different kind of experience. But I don't ever want to feel that way again. I will never underperform again. My biggest regret in the Tito fight is I just didn't bring my skills with me. I just didn't go out there and perform. And you'll have those kind of matches in your life. I grew up as a wrestler. Those kind of things happen. But in a wrestling tournament, you get another shot 45 minutes later. In a situation like MMA, you only get 3 of these matches a year. It's tough. You can't go out there and underperform. And I've vowed to myself, and I will vow to you, I will not do that again.
And you've been a competitor a long time. You have your usual routines and everything. I'm wondering have you done anything differently this time? Have you any new wrinkles that you've tried to prepare for this fight?
I have the best coaches out there. I could be coached by anybody, and I picked exactly the right guys. I got the right gym, the right teammates. I listen to them. I respect them. I trust them. And no, we worked really hard. I went to bed sore and tired every day. I walked out of that ring in January, and we flew home to Oregon. We started training the very next day. I offered to step in on a last-minute fight when Mitch Raylan's had his kidney issues, and that was just because I was just dying to get back in there. It didn't have anything to do with the opponent. I just really wanted one more shot.
And wear and tear on your body, how are you feeling at this stage in the game of your career?
Well, terrible. Oh, I'm so sore and so tired, but I think that's just part of it. We really push it to the max. And this week, aside from making weight, is really about recovering and resting up. And I think I'm catching up on it. I'm feeling better each day.
We have been waiting 3 years until your fight. So what is your feeling now?
I feel great. I feel ready. And I'm waiting too. I'm waiting for a long time for this fight. And I never fight with one opponent, and I don't like that. And I promise I'm going to make a great show.
Okay, another 4. Oh, okay. Chael?
Hello, sweet potato. What was the question? I was a little distracted. What did you say?
My question was, what is your feeling now, Chael?
Pretty excited, as a matter of fact. But back to the fight. As far as Wanderlei Silva goes, listen, let me tell you something, young lady, and send this back home to your people, because on 6/24 at 7 p.m., 10 in the East End, only on pay-per-view, Chael Sonnen Promotions, in conjunction with Bellator NYC, are going to bring you the biggest grudge match in history. And when all is said and done, it's going to be one more in the win column, one more for the highlight reel, and one more for the bad guy.
Okay. Now I have a question for heavyweights. Does the tension grow up since Bellator 172? Matt first.
I'm sorry, could you fire that one off again?
It's a problem, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it is.
It's really a problem up here.
Mildly distracted.
Yeah.
Are you good, Matt? Are you good now?
I'm solid.
Are you ready to get into the cage?
Oh, yeah, I'm 100%, man. Yeah, 100%. Can't wait to get after it.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, the tension between Matt and Fedor is growing up since the other Bellator.
I don't feel like there's any tension at all. If there is, it's on his part, and I haven't picked it up yet, but he seems cool as a cucumber to me.
Скорее наоборот, напряжение уходит. No, the tension is going away gradually.
Can I wait? Can I jump in on
No,
this?
I have another question for you.
Go ahead.
My last question is for you because you share on Twitter 10 reasons why you want to fight with Wanderlei Silva, and one of them was because he always orders salmon in Smith & Wolenski's.
Yes.
So tonight we are going to have dinner there. So what do you recommend us?
Yeah, well, and I don't think he's given an acceptable answer as to where he was the day JFK got shot. Don't forget about that. That's kind of made me mad for a few years. Can I weigh in on the Fader Mitrione thing? I say this as a fan, but these two guys are completely distracting me, and it's very hard sometimes to be the main event when you're the kind of fan I am. I didn't know how this fight would do. I just didn't know. But I was in San Jose the day this was planned. Now, it only got scrapped 2 hours before doors opened. That arena was completely sold out, over $800,000 gate. People want to see Mitrione and Fedor fight. And it was one of the best fight announcements I've ever seen. The best fight announcement I've ever seen was a Wednesday night Hard Rock Casino, live on Spike TV. Dana came out and he says, the greatest welterweight of all time, and out walks Matt Hughes. And he says, versus the greatest fighter of all time, and out walks Hoist Gracie. And we all just stand back and go, yeah, there's no embellishment there. You just can't argue with that. I feel like Matt Mitrione is the best heavyweight of this time. He's taken on the best heavyweight of all time. This was one of the most exciting and perfect fight announcements I've ever seen. I just want to share that with you, just so we can keep the dialogue going, you and I.
Okay, Matt Mitrione. Okay, sure. But what I have to order tonight?
Oh, at Smith & Lewitsky's, you know what? If you're going there, if you're asking me a serious question, they have a corned beef and hash, and they'll put a couple of scrambled eggs on top of it. It's very good.
Perfect. It's enough. Thank you, Chael.
All right.
You know, in your interviews and your media in the lead up to this, there's been a much ado about the testing that's happened or in your mind hasn't happened. I'm not sure how it feels. You've had controversy in this area in the past. What's changing you now and how this is being handled?
Well, it's kind of handled the same. I mean, I feel like you're asking me if I'm clean. Am I interpreting that right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think that, you know, we kind of have a difference here on semantics. You say clean, and I would say clean-ish. Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be judged like the other guys. I want graded more like on a curve, if you know what I'm saying. In a world of sinners, are any of us really clean, Dwayne?
We're in New York, brother.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, man, we got tested. We did the whole process. I'm having a little fun with you, but I don't suspect anything from my opponent. I don't think he expects anything from me.